all right, maybe the CIA is not involved. So check this out. This guy named Stevie Wee Wee, he's a black man who used to work for the CIA. They apparently fired him, and he's been basically living a normal life ever since. Now, here's the weird thing about me. I've actually had, for about the last 8 years of my life, my family, my friends, even random people on the internet try to change the narrative of what my life is. This is no exaggeration. I have tried to go to therapist. I have called the police. I have tried all kinds of ways to figure out what's going on. And everybody has literally fought any efforts of myself just to clarify what my real life is. And this has now extended to even random people on the internet. Now, that comment is made by a person, it's an artist in New York called Smurf OU Dirty. His comment is about, so basically what happened is there was a 13-year-old boy who shot somebody in the Bronx. Smurf OU Dirty posted about it. Someone on that post commented, oh, it has to be the Bronx or something similar to that. I commented back that as someone who was a 13-year-old boy in the Bronx, I was offended by the fact that it seemed as if everyone seems to always speak of the Bronx in such a negative light. Moving on from that, Smurf OU Dirty then responded back to me something similar to, you don't own the Bronx, and you wouldn't need a gun if you weren't in that mess. Now, the thing about that is, I've been posting for now over a year. Besides that, even previously, and me and Smurf OU Dirty have been interacting on our accounts since around 2017. So just to give you an idea of that. And I feel as if I believe, I know I definitely on my account have mentioned my history and the fact I'm from the Bronx, but definitely on my own account. Anyway, like I just said, I have over 100 posts very specifically about a situation when I was 13 years old in the Bronx, in which I found myself hanging out with people who at the very least are now known to be criminals, at least within those circles. And also at that time, of that age, I wanted to buy a gun. I'm not going to get too into that, but it's just kind of the whole point of his comment, is really, whether he's doing it intentionally or not, is trying to change the narrative of my life, is trying to make it seem as if I'm not from the Bronx, as if I've never been 13 years old in the Bronx, and then on top of that, I've never even would have had a reason or been in the mess, quote unquote, of the Bronx, which is just fucking odd as fuck. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, these things were happening from people I knew. In other words, people I knew, like I have friends of mine who I've literally tried to make comments about my own life and make it seem as if I'm not me, you know what I mean? Or the things that I've experienced, I haven't experienced. And that in itself has been extremely difficult and odd to go through. But this particular person who doesn't know me, and if anything, has more than enough access to know that what they're saying is incorrect and yet is saying it that way, you know what I mean? Like, you'd only need a gun if you were in or around that mess. Like, it's really difficult for me to understand how those words could come out of anybody's mouth when discussing me, because you would have to be extremely ignorant of so much. Not just, all right, like whatever, you know, people may not know that. Literally, over 100 posts specifically about a situation when I was 13 and 14. Like, really, I think I was 13 or 14, but either way, around that age, and around people who had guns, they were criminals. I've also written about, not that much, but about the fact that at that age I was about to purchase a gun. I did not, but that was a very much a goal and something I was working towards. And then to have this guy change it, you get what I'm saying? So it's very, very odd, because to bring it back to Stevie Wee Wee, this guy to me is very strange as well, because he's also acting as if nothing's real. Stevie Wee Wee, you know, he has around 4,000 followers, whatever. I do know that when he was in Dubai vacationing, there was a few times he went live, and I was literally the only person in his live stream. Now, I've also kind of tagged him in other posts and tried to be like, yo, this is what's going on. You could be helpful. I would appreciate it, because especially since you've worked with the CIA and shit like that, you even just talking to me, just talk to me about what's going on. And he's actually fought against just talking to me. He follows my account, so it's not as if like he hasn't made, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of weird. He follows my account, but then he acts as if nothing's real. Nothing is real. Everything has to be just some internet post. And to me, that's offensive, because it's as if like, if I would have saw his live stream and then assumed that that was some CIA plot against me, which, as you can see, wouldn't be so crazy to think if for no other reason. Like, look, even random people on the internet seemingly are trying to change the narrative of my life. So it wouldn't be odd for me to come to that conclusion. But I didn't, mostly because, that doesn't make sense. What actually does make more sense is that for some reason, both Stevie Weeby and Smurfo You Dirty seem to be not only just confused in my life, but also seem to think that all of this isn't real. Apparently, they think only their lives are real, but not mine, which is just an interesting realization to have. So yeah, that's that for right now.